So I just got this pill that supposedly unlocks my brain's full potential, but I'm not buying it. Well, might as well try it out. Grape flavored. That's interesting. The square root of an isosceles triangle is equal to that sum of the equal side.
That's a right triangle, you idiot.
Dang it!
Romero, he's an awesome dude, he's on your PC. He likes to make reviews for the movies you see. And if you want to sub his channel, take it from me. It makes us alright to a big surprise and it probably hates you. Romero Movie News, Romero Movie News, Romero Movie News, Romero Movie News. Romero Movie News. Jackie Chan touched my wiener.
Hey there guys and gals, and welcome to my review for the new sci-fi film Lucy, starring Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman, and directed by Luc Besson, who directed one of my favorite sci-fi films ever in The Fifth Element. Now the plot for this movie follows Scarlett Johansson's Lucy, and she's just a regular everyday girl who gets enveloped in this kind of dark situation that ends up her having to slip these drugs into her intestines and smuggle them into Europe. And a current situation happens where unfortunately she gets this substance spilled into her system, and then she's able to unlock her brain's full capacity power. Now when I saw the movie, of course I kind of thought, okay, this is kind of reminiscent of Limitless with Bradley Cooper, with the idea of unlocking your brain's full potential and whatnot, but it was directed by Luc Besson and it had a more depth to it from what I could see in the trailers. It wasn't just about the, unlocking your brain's full potential. There was a lot more to it than that. And that's what I think I liked about this movie. The concept delved in way more into just, the whole 100% capacity thing. It was more about, evolution, creationism, what we could learn if we did unlock our brain's full potential. Not what we could do with it, but what we could learn from it as well. Another thing that I liked about this movie was Scarlett Johansson's performance. She is my lady love, and sometimes I feel she can do no wrong. Unlike that other movie, oh god, I don't want to remember it. But in this movie, she definitely performed well. I loved her because she gave this very intimidating vibe. Like she was not afraid of anything. She was not, fearful or scared or anything. She was just straight on, dead on intimidating, and I love that. It just really gave me this sexy vibe about her, and I love that about her performance in this movie. I feel the movie could have used Morgan Freeman a little bit more than just an exposition character, because that's what he was in this movie. He was an exposition character, just giving off dialogue. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's Morgan Freeman and his voice is beautiful to listen to, but I kind of would have liked his character to be more enveloped in the situation instead of just spewing out exposition in this movie, which he does throughout. So that was kind of a little dismayed. Another thing that I really didn't like about this movie is the editing style. Now in The Fifth Element, Luc Besson's editing style fits, the whole in-your-face jump cuts, quick jump cuts and stuff, and all these random footages just being thrown into your eyes and you trying to figure out how to piece this scene together. And that worked in The Fifth Element because it's a ridiculous sci-fi film, so it called for some ridiculous kind of editing. But here, in a very serious toned film, that kind of editing, I feel, throws people off a bit. Now, I understood what Luc Besson was trying to go for with this style of editing in this movie, but sometimes when I was sitting in the theater, you'd get some random clips and people in my theater would actually start laughing because they didn't know what to make of it. And I think all around that editing style at some points in the film kind of took away from my enjoyment and experience of the film because it just threw me off balance completely at times. But besides that, everything in this film works to its favor. The concept is executed in a way that isn't preachy but informative, and Scarlett Johansson as Lucy was superb. She did a hell of a job. If I were honest, I would have wished this movie were longer so we could have seen Scarlett Johansson's character prior to her being, intimidating and, very intelligent and extremely, non-fearful. I would have liked to see her as her normal self, like, innocent and gentle and genuine and, that aspect. If they would have added at least 20 more minutes to this movie to kind kind of give that part of her character a little bit more development, I would have liked that, because we only get a tad bit of her as just her normal self before the whole ordeal of the drugs being spilled into her body. So I kind of would have liked a little bit more of that aspect of her personality to be delved into, of her just being a regular person and her getting tangled up in the situation. But, you know, what can you do? It's Luc Besson. He wants to get into the meat of the bulk of the plot really quick as possible with this film, which it does in the first 10 minutes. You know, it doesn't give you any time to breathe, and I kind of like that, and I sort of kind of didn't want that to happen either. All around, if I were to give this movie a rating, I'd probably give it a solid 3.5, which is a C+ in my book. The concept is delved into very good. It's not preachy, it's informative. The performances both by Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson are, you know, portrayed really well, in particular Scarlett Johansson's. And also, I like the fact that this movie is kind of Luc Besson's return to the sci-fi genre, and he did a good job for what it's worth. The editing style kind of threw me off at moments and took away from the experience of the film, but not that much to the point where I hated it. It was just a little bit confusing at times to see that editing style incorporated in a very serious toned film. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my review for Lucy. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what's your favorite Luc Besson film, whether he directed it, wrote it, or produced it. Let me know. Mine is always going to be either Taken, the first film, or The Fifth Element, which he directed. So those are my two favorite Luc Besson movies. Anyways, as always guys, I'm Romero for RMN, and I got your back, so you're on track. See you guys next time.